Oh hey, welcome back. This week I'm finally taking a look at all those PS2 games I bought while I was in Japan. Kinda did a little speed run and played all of them for about 30 minutes. And now I'm gonna give my thoughts. Alright, let's just get on into it. I guess it's over here. Alright, we'll see. Bye. When I first plugged the PS2 in, a lot of grinding noise. Not a great start. Luckily, looked it up. The little thingy that the lens or the laser runs on can get stuck. So open that sucker up, did a little tweaking inside, a little cleaning, and got it running like brand new. I think it just got jostled riding on the plane. I didn't have it in my suitcase. I had it with me in the seat, but I don't know, being upright, flying for 15 hours, things happen. Anyway, here's some, look at me, I'm doing a little fix 'em up. You just open that sucker up. Never done it before, but it's pretty easy to do. You like pop these screws out, take the top off. Essentially, you just make sure that there's enough grease on the little spindle. If your laser's arm is not making contact with that spindle, you can kind of give it a little bendy boo down and it'll give it that motion it needs. Luckily, an easy fix. I definitely was a little bit like, ooh, what'd I do? But it was fine. It was fine. It was fine. Oh, a quick note about a Japanese PS2. Circle and X are basically reversed in Japan. And I believe the reason for this is a circle is yes, go, and an X is no, stop. Where I am in the United States, it was always X was confirmed. So there was definitely a little bit of a learning curve with that, but nothing too big. Easy stuff, right? The first game I have here is a Toro game. I've always wanted to play one of these. Sony's unofficial mascot, Toro, the white cat, Toro Inu. This one is called Doko Demo Issho Toro to Nagare Boshi, which translates to Together Everywhere, Toro and the Shooting Star. Now this one was really cute. I only played enough to like get through the intro. You're a new person. You're moving into a town. You're about to move into a new building. You meet with the landlord, and as soon as you enter to start unpacking your boxes, you hear the toilet flushing over and over again. Of course, you check to make sure that something isn't wrong, and on the toilet is Toro Inu. He comes out and he explains that he loves sitting on the toilet because it makes him tired and he wants to go to sleep. And he falls asleep when he sits on the toilet because it's so comfortable. So that's your introduction to Toro, the cat. It's quite an entrance, to say the least. From there, you kind of answer a few questions. He asks what you do, where you do it, what your name is, all that jazz. The two of you bond over that, which is sweet. It's sweet, you know? And then you clean up the whole house. Everything's put away. It has become evening, so you go and you sit by the window, and Toro explains that he's always wanted to see a shooting star so that he could make his one wish, to become a human. And he says, we gotta make a wish, we gotta make a wish. So you're prompted to make a wish through a few different choices. I chose to visit Japan because I can't wait to go back. And Toro says, I want to be a human. And the tradition is you say it 3 times and then it comes true. So it passes over, he says it 3 times, you both do. And what do you know? The comet comes crashing down to Earth and smashes into the ground, and it throws you across the room. And yeah, that's 30 minutes in. So I call it quits there, but I'm excited to get back into it. It's very unique. For some reason, I always thought that these were sort of like Homagachi style games where you kind of just let the creatures do what you want, but this is like you're in control of a little person that you can explore the apartment building and talk to whoever. This one, I can really see that there's something special in here. And because of that, the first 30 minutes, I'm going to give it 9 out of 10 Toro Inus. I want to know what happens next. I want to just live in this world with Toro. It just seems like it's also just going to have some funny bits to it. I'm excited to play more of this one. Quick side note, we have a cat, a white cat named Toro, who we did not name after this cat. We named him because Fatty Tuna kind of, which is what Toro means, Fatty Tuna kind of suited him. And it was only later that I found out that the cat mascot in this was Toro Inu, which also, Inu? It's Japanese for dog, so it's an interesting last name for Toro. Next up, we have EVERBLUE. Can you see that? EVERBLUE. This is an interesting one. I picked it up because I looked at the back and you can see that there's like scuba diving and treasure. So this is a first-person scuba diving game and it's pretty rad. It starts off and you're thrown into kind of this like underwater temple and you just sort of go through, you learn how to do the controls, you got like a flashlight, you kind of make your way through. It's like a little tutorial-y, it tells you how to open doors and whatnot, and you get to this big chamber, and in the chamber is a thing with writing on it. And as soon as you get to it, a shark comes out of nowhere and a shark's swimming around and you're like dodging out of the way of the shark, and the shark, I guess, somehow like disrupts this big underwater ruby, and then the ruby falls off of its thing, and you know, the ruby falling off makes all the doors close and everything's shaking and everything's crazy. Then you cut to however many years later, now you're a guy named Leo and you're out there hunting for treasure to make money, and you got your friend Marco who is also doing that but doesn't do the scuba diving part. He does other things that he doesn't really explain. So this one's cool. It's got like a little hub. You get off your boat, you know, you can go to an inn and sleep and recover your health. You know, there's someone that'll buy all the stuff that you find underwater, and you know, you can talk to the locals and whatnot, and then head back to your boat and dive. You go under, you got a sonar. The sonar you can sort of set the sonar to look for certain things. At first you're just looking for wood, so you kind of find like, I don't know, it's like a cane or something, little trinkets. But every time you come up, you know, Marco's there waiting for you, and Marco for some reason uses our money to buy hats, and like that's like this gag. Every time you come up, he's like, hey, I bought a cowboy hat. Come up and he's like, I bought a sombrero. Marco, what are you doing, man? Come on, Marco. EVERBLUE. This one's cool. Like it's straight up cool. You know, you're a scuba diver, you're just looking for treasure. Yeah, like that's cool. I will play more of this one. It's fun. You know, if they like throw in some like spooks, some cool like locations to scout, I give this a 10 out of 10 scuba divers. Yeah, scuba divers. Yeah, that's cool. This one's cool. I'm into it. EVERBLUE. 10 out of 10 scuba dives. All right, next up we have Boku no Natsuyasumi 2 Umi no BOKU-HEN. That translates to My Summer Vacation 2 Sea Adventure. This one's really cool. This one's got fully hand-painted backgrounds and with the 3D characters on top. And you essentially are just let loose on this island to just do whatever the heck you want. Even just starting off, you get off the boat, you see your aunt and uncle and your cousins. They show you your room. They're kind of like, all right, go out there, you know, don't get in any trouble, don't go swimming, and you can kind of just wander around. So I did. You find your cousins and they're like looking for crawfish under a bridge or something, and I found this like abandoned house full of feral cats that someone's feeding. I found a playground, and then even though they said not to go swimming, I went swimming, which was cool. I was just sort of going around the map and checking it out, and eventually made it back to the house, and it was dinner time. So you sit around and, you know, your aunt and uncle ask you what you want to do, and you eat, and then even in the nighttime, you're able to do whatever you want. So this seems like a real kind of leisurely game. Play as you wish, go where you like. The swimming is actually controls really well, so I'd be really interested to see what else is down there. And I absolutely adore the hand-painted backgrounds. I want to see the whole island. I want to see every single backdrop. My Summer Vacation 2 Sea Adventure. Easy 10 out of 10 lazy summer days. Easy. I want to see more of this. One thing I like is I believe this is a game for a younger audience, so I'm kind of hoping that also in learning Japanese, it could be a little easier. You know, I wasn't having an easy time, but I think if I took my time and took it slow, this could be a nice little learning tool. My Summer Vacation, 10 out of 10 lazy summer days. What do we got here? We have Wild Wild Racing. It's like an off-road racing game. It kind of reminded me of like if Smuggler's Run was track-based. That's kind of what the cars felt like. This is one where I kind of picked it up off the shelf. I looked at the back of it and I was like, that looks cool. I want to play that. And it is cool. So for 30 minutes, I think I made it through 2 tournaments. The initial tournament is very easy. And then the subsequent one is very difficult. And I feel like I may have chosen the wrong vehicle or something. I don't know. This one was also easy because almost everything was in English. Whereas with the other games, I'm using translator. I'm trying to suss out what's going on as best I can. But this one is just straight up in English. The controls are solid. Like it's fun to drive around. But graphically, instead of having fog, the map sort of goes off and then you can see the skybox. So if you're taking a corner and you can see really far in the distance, there's like a weird sort of uncanny parallax that's happening. And it was giving me some pretty bad motion sickness because it's kind of moving in a different direction than you'd expect. I'm sure I have some examples that I can show. And here's me reacting to them. Ooh. Ooh. Wild, wild racing. It is wild. It's also pretty wild. And it definitely has some racing in there. I saw some. This is a good one. This is good arcade racing. I'll play more of this. I give it 7 out of 10 wild red dogs. Because that's what's on the cover, I guess. It's fun. Not the best game I've ever played, but I can see going back to it to unlock some more stages and see what they're like. It feels like there's like a nuance to the handling that once you click with it, you just know this will be a good one. It feels good already, but there's space to learn how to drift right. And I want to find out how to do that. But yeah, wild, wild racing. All right, next up, we have a Konami classic. Now, when you think Konami, this is the one you think of. DOGSTATION. So this one I got because it's got cute dogs on the cover. I'm not even gonna front. I saw it on the shelf and I was like, DOGSTATION. Oh, cute dogs. Okay. And then I could see that you can play as a dachshund, and I got my Tom. I want to play as a dog. This one took me by surprise. This is another one where I thought it was gonna be like Nintendogs, but it is straight up mini games of you training your dog in different ways. It's almost like WarioWare in how you're training your dog. You're running a sprint and then now you're playing breakout with your dog and moving him so he bounces a ball. Oh, okay, you're done with that. Now you're jumping rope with him. Every single moment there's something happening. Oh, he has to pee. That's a mini game. It's like a lot more interactive than I thought it would be. You go to the park, and when you go to the park, sometimes there's other dogs there and they'll challenge you. And if you beat them at a challenge, they give you a little like piece of cosmetic to wear. But yeah, I tried to see if there was like just letting them roam. I think you just train your dog a whole bunch. Because there's like a whole level up thing, you know, your dog's getting bigger, it's leveling up. This one was also tough because a lot of it's time based, all the mini games. Part of training the dog is saying the right thing. So if you're trying to get him to move closer to the Wii pad, you want to say like, come here, and not like scold him or push him away. So using a translator to find the correct answer definitely hindered my progress a little bit, you could say. But that's DOGSTATION. I will probably play more of this. I named my dog in it Tomo after Tom, of course. He's a little brown dachshund, just like in real life. But yeah, it's super cute. There was a moment where, for whatever reason, the mini game is get Tomo to cross the street, and I was too slow, and the whole time there was a foreboding truck coming down the street, and I was too slow in my inputs, and luckily the truck stops. But Tomo was very sad. So let that be a lesson to you. DOGSTATION. This game's cute. It's not quite what I expected it to be, obviously. I thought it was going to be watching pups. It's a lot of mini games. But I am interested to see what happens when you level up your dog further, like once it's an adult. Because I was only in the puppy stage. I was in the puppy stage the whole 30 minutes. I was redoing some of the mini games too, so I don't know how many there are. I'll give this one 6 out of 10 Tomos. And that's not a bad word on Tom or dogs or video games. There just wasn't that much to do. There could be more to do. Maybe there is. Maybe I'll find out. DOGSTATION. Moving on. Next up, A Reisha de Iku, which is basically A Train 6. It's like City Manager, but kind of mostly revolving around trains. So Very into that, to say the least. Kind of drops you in, SimCity style, and you essentially just need to set up a network of trains between 4 cities, at least in the first sort of section they put you in. This one took me a little bit to understand the controls. It's a very, very rigid control set, and also kind of confusing in that how you access the menu to like build and edit is square, and for whatever reason I just wasn't pressing square. Anyway, 30 minutes with this one, right? I see that we have this big map. Great. Big map. Let's put some trains on it. We connect a couple cities. I put the JR line on there. All sorts of trains you can select for this one. JR, you know, I don't know the names of any of the other ones, but they're there. This one is very like, it's funny. It's 3D, but it's so low res that you see the pixels. And it's actually very endearing. I actually really love how the trains look. It literally looks like those Pico 8 3D games. That's what this looks like. I basically just sat there for 30 minutes and I connected the trains, and then I basically just watched the trains go. Beyond that, what you can do is you can set up different times for the trains to go. You can really like edit things to a very minute detail. And you can also buy land, sell land. You can build some buildings. Essentially what happens is if you're doing everything correctly, cities sort of grow around your stations, your hubs. As the train goes, you can see roads being built and houses being built. And, you know, there's almost like a procedural nature to how the town grows around what you build, which is very cool. When I picked this up, I'll be very honest, I thought it was just called A6. I didn't think that it was the 6th in a series, but I now realize that it is. The most recent available one is 9. You can get it on Steam, and I believe they did a version for the Switch too. I don't know if that's available in other regions, but yeah, I mean, it seems to still be going. I don't know, pretty cool. I feel like if you really got into the groove and you got the controls down, it could be a lot of fun. We're working with the PS2 controller here. It's a little awkward. What I do like is there's like a you can use a camera that is you moving around and then a static camera, which is surprisingly helpful in making sure you're building in the right spot. But yeah, it's a very rigid game in how it controls. So if you can kind of get past that, I think there's a lot of fun to be had here for sure. All right, A-Train 6. Hard to control. Cool game underneath there. The only downside is I feel like you really got to put your time in. You got to put time in to get a lot out of this. With how it controls and the lackluster, I'd say, frame rate, that might be tough to do. It might be tough to give this the time that it needs. For that, I'm going to give it its namesake. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10 A-Trains. A-Train 6. So that was 6 brand new to me games. Love them. But I did buy some games where they're franchises that I know and love, but I was curious what the early games were like. Because it's always interesting to see the origins of things, right? Where we came from. SpongeBob. So the first one I got here, let's pick it up, shall we? A Monster Hunter one, the original. This one was cool playing through this one. It is very interesting to see what has become a mainstay in the series and what has changed. What hasn't changed is these are gorgeous games. Even the first one, it has got such a good style. But the main bulk of how Monster Hunter works, if you're familiar, you pick your weapon class and whatnot, and you go out and you hunt monsters. And it's kind of a slow paced, monsters have lots of health. You're whacking them a bunch. It's a lot of watching your gauges and sharpening your tools and making sure you take it down. And that's all there, even from the get-go in the first game. Obviously, playing the first 30 minutes, luckily I have a grasp of how Monster Hunter works. I really enjoyed World, and I've played Rise, and I can't remember the name of the newest one, but I also played that. going in here, I was able to sort of push through the first couple missions just to like get through them, because they always throw you on some like gathering quest that's not very interesting, but I just wanted to see the world. Now, the one thing that is very different that they have changed is in this game, the camera is not fully controlled by you. You can throw it behind you with L1, and that's sort of the best you got. And then all the attacks are done with the right analog stick. So you got up, left, right, down on the analog stick. That takes a little bit of getting used to. That is a very, like, genuinely a very dated way of controlling something. Once you get past the weird kind of camera and the attacks being on an analog stick instead of the buttons, the rest of it's there. The rest of it is a pretty standard Monster Hunter. You're going out, you hit the monsters, you collect what they dropped. I will say in this first one, there's a lot less like prompts. So it took me a bit to realize that like some of the things on the ground that were slightly different, I could pick up. They don't prompt you when you're over the monster to gather from it. It's pretty much just circle does everything. So if you're just near something and you press circle, if you can do something with it, it's done. But as you'll see in the footage, the starting area, what Monster Hunter is best at is making you just like fall in love with the area right from the get-go. They always just have this great intro area. This one is just this sprawling Greenland and there's just some dinosaurs roaming around. It's cool. It's cool. I had a good time. I definitely want to play more and unlock some more weapons and get out there and see some of the bigger enemies. Obviously, in my short time with this one, it was very much get out there, kill the herbivores, get their meat, cook the meat. Nothing too exciting. I didn't even see a real monster in my time there, but yeah, Monster Hunter, the first. It is cool to see the start of the series, because I started with World, and World is a very different game from this while still being very similar, and so it's interesting to see how they started it all the way back on the PS2. This feels ahead of its time, right? I don't know how this did in the market. I don't know how this was received. I assume fairly well because they're still making them, but you pop this into your PS2, you feel ahead of your time. It's like you're putting the future in there. It's cool. There's a lot of loading screens between areas. It's not a big open world like they do now, but I don't know, it's the PS2. It's kind of like what you expect. This is cool. It's cool, you know? 7 out of 10 monsters. 7 out of 10 monsters. Oops. That leads me to the next one, which is Monster Hunter 2, or Monster Hunter DOS. This did not release in the United States. I'm pretty sure this was a Japanese-only release. This one is sort of the PS2 sequel quality bump that you expect. It runs better, it looks better, there's quality of life changes. The like island that you're on has some of the most like stunning vistas I've seen in a PS2 game. This one also just has you fighting monsters a lot faster. Like I was able to just sort of grab my first quest, hop in, and then, oop, monsters. The interesting thing with this one too is it's a very classic, you're just in this new land and there's new monsters and who would have guessed it? They discover like a snow area and there's a giant yeti. It's funny how the first and this one kind of coincide with the world and how they then had like snow Arctic world. I can't remember what the DLC was called. You know what I'm talking about. They follow in their footsteps very succinctly in the Monster Hunter series. Again, hard to get past the controls. You don't have control over the camera. You have to press L1 to throw it behind you, and the attacks are with the analog stick, which no matter what just feels odd. It's hard to get around that, to be totally honest, because I feel like it's hard to get your usual like step combos when you're flicking it in a different direction. Monster Hunter 2, an improvement in almost every way. Even playing just the first 30 minutes, I could tell. Visuals looks great. It does control a little better. I mean, sure, I was probably getting used to everything, but an improvement over the last. Very fun. I'll probably play more of this one. I'll probably do it. I'll do it. 8 out of 10 monsters. Okay, enough Monster Hunter. Everybody knows Monster Hunter. Well, what about Everybody's Golf 4. I love the Everybody's Golf that came out on the PS4. That game was so good. I love the character creator in it. I mean, I'll flash up some embarrassing photos of me when I was young, mimicking my character in the game. But this is just... It's a golf game. I'll have some footage playing over this of me playing through it, and I played 18 holes in my 30 minutes, and did not do great, to say the least. Definitely been a bit since I played a golf game, and it was very, very evident that that was the case. What are you gonna do? Great looking game. Everybody's Golf always has a nice clean look to it. The course was fun. I like the reactions a lot. Very funny. And honestly, the controls are tight. I just did bad. There's a bit more delay in your wind-up than I'm used to, just because I think it's an older game. I think, like, I don't know. It's not the same as now where it's like when you press it, it stops. It's more of a like, okay, it's about to hit the end, and, you know, you kind of hit it almost a half second early before it gets there. But yeah, I'll play more of this. I like Everybody's Golf quite a bit, and I had a good time with this one. Very, very fun, classic golf. No complaints there. Everybody gets Golf 4. See what I did there? 4. Like they say in golf. Come on. Right? Great game. Golf game. One thing I'll say about golf games, let's be real, they're all kind of they're all kind of doing the same thing. It's just about having new characters and new areas, and this one's fun though. Like this is one where I could see jumping back in, playing through all the courses. You only have 2 characters, I think, to start with, and there's like room for, I think, 16. I want to see what other characters are in there. Easy. 9 out of 10 golf balls. 9 out of 10. All right, that's all of them. That's all the games that I brought back from Japan. Kind of a array of things. I didn't go with a agenda of anything to pick up. I kind of let the shelves speak to me. I went through and I found things that I like the cover. I like what I saw on the back. I didn't look anything up, and I just kind of went for it, and I don't know. It was fun. It was fun to do. All right, 9 games all the way from Japan. How about that? I had fun doing this. A lot of these I'm gonna keep playing, and I hope you enjoyed it too. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. That's Toro. Yes. Where is Toro?